welcome back to Man Remastered. Mike stands at the edge of another path, at the end of a throat that leads down into the dead side intestines. I'm not as good at describing dead side as Mike is. He's better than me. But we're going to go down this path and get our first look at the Asylum. But before we look at that, let's look at this. I mentioned earlier that the original version of the game came with a map. And I was notified that in the community files for this game on Steam, someone made a re-edit of the map, which includes the new areas and the changes from the remastered version. And this is an excellent job. This looks professionally done. It has the new areas for Liveside, the summer camp, and the salvage yard. It has the new Asylum level, the Experimentation Rooms. It tells us how many Cadeaux are in each level. It rearranges the item names so it matches where those items are in the remastered version. And it looks seamless. It looks really good. Apparently this was made by Hot Dog Fan. I'm glad Hot Dog Fan is a fan of Shadow Man, because this map is really good. And if this is your first time playing through the game, you should download this map because it would be very useful. Let's head down this path.
And into Asylum, like a great black engine roaring to eternity, ravaging the already benighted landscape with its savage, malevolent presence. And within the legions of the truly damned, insanity, sheer and stark, and once in human form, now gutted and torn by eons of glutted indulgence. Their bloodlust flecking the oily walls, living in the shrieks of victims ensnared, hanged, drawn, and quartered by the serpent's squalid writhings. This is the place I have not wanted to dream of, and the dream is now the place I partly live through.
Mike is not looking forward to entering the Asylum, but enter it he must. And fortunately, Jaunty was right. The paths of shadow have led to it. And it just so happens that there's an entrance in the outer wall surrounding the Asylum. That's lucky. It's not closed up or gated or guarded or anything. It's just like a little door that we can just pass on through. What would Mike have done if there were bars over that door? There wouldn't have been any way to get in. But I guess we've been told that the tower is getting bigger and maybe moving, so I guess as it does so, maybe not everywhere is guarded. I like this, because it's not going to stop anyone from going through. But it's hostile. You know, you get the impression that you're not going to find any friends on the other side of this, so you can get through it, but do so at your own risk. Well, we have found the Black Tower, and we know that Jack the Ripper had been recruited to design this. He loves his spotlights, but the spotlights, they don't do anything. I mean, it makes the place look cool and ominous, but, you know, you can step in them. It's fine. Don't worry about it. What we do need to worry about is finding a way inside.
Did I really expect to just walk right in through the front door? There must be another way in.
Yeah, the front door is locked, and there's this panel next to it, but we can't do anything with that. We do have to find another way in. Unfortunately, if we look down, we can see that there's a moat of hot coals surrounding the Asylum, and there's like a little ledge next to it. The ledge is spitting fire, so be careful about that, but we can use this to get around the coals. But unfortunately, we can't go any further here. Because, well, we can't walk on the coals, and this platform here is on fire. There's a lot of fire in the asylum.
Yow, that burns.
Youch. We can't touch it. At least not yet. Eventually we'll be able to touch fire, and then we'll need to remember to come back here. We'll need to backtrack. That's a case with a lot of things. Remember places where you can touch fire. Remember places where there are coals. Remember where there are pools of lava. Because eventually we'll be able to traverse all these things. So just keep those points in mind. Because remember, this game does not have a built-in map, which can make things a little difficult when you're exploring and when you're trying to remember where you have to backtrack to. You just kind of have to keep these things in mind. I do like... Oh, like for example, there's a path over there and some stairs, but we can't get there because of the coals, so we have to remember that is there over there once we can walk on coals. I do like the how the environment changes once we get into the asylum. Up to now, we've seen some rocky wilderness in the wasteland. We've seen the Temple of Life, which gives the impression that that was built by some ancient culture. But this environment seems a lot more modern and definitely made by humans. So I think this is where things like the environment and the setting really starts to get some variety. There's a Godot in that pipe. We could jump on the pipes to try to get it, but we'll probably wait until we can walk on coals to make this a bit less dangerous. We'll be back here. Now, the asylum is the big evil castle where evil lives and plots and plans and schemes. Don't forget the scheming. Very important. Oh, also, you want to see some remastered lighting and shadows? Ooh, lighting effects. I mean, it does look a lot better than the original version of the game did. Well, like I said, this is the big evil castle, but it's not the last level. Well, not only the last level, but it is a location we'll be coming to back and forth throughout the game, because this is a massive fortress. It's not just, you know, a single level to close out the game. The asylum is huge. In fact, this level is called Asylum Gateway. There are 5 Dark Souls. This is only the entryway into the asylum. It's the only place we can access right now. But a large part of the game will be the asylum in general. There's some inhabitants of the asylum over there. They're hacking at some meat with some hooks, which, as we will find out, that is the favorite pastime of many of the residents here.
My God, this truly is a terrible place.
Yeah, here's a lot of meat, and there's one of those whalers over there. He's attacking. He's sucking my health. They will do that. The ones at the beginning didn't seem like they were doing that, but they will now. We got a new enemy. Squeals like a pig, has meat hooks, and likes to hack at meat, like what they're doing right there. They love it. Can't get enough of the meat. Always with the meat, these guys. Don't want them to get too close up because they will drain your health real fast with the hooks. We can shoot the meat. It doesn't do any... I mean, it explodes, but I don't think there's ever a reason to do that. I don't think there's ever anything hidden in the meat. That's just what they do for fun here in the asylum. I guess they capture the wailing lost souls outside and bring them in here for torture.
Great.
The inhabitants of the asylum are the ones for whom... This is locked. They're the ones for whom normal Deadside just isn't hardcore enough. They needed more. And this is where they're getting it. I mean, we are killing the whalers as well, but do you think they want to stay here? Probably not.
Great.
A big locked door. This trail of blood we've been seeing heads here, but we can't open that yet.
Nettie was right. They are gathering the Dark Souls.
Yeah, we found a Govie. They haven't opened it, but I guess they've been finding Govie and bringing them here.
The Dark Souls are mine.
So, Mike's goal here, for the time being, as said in the conversation with Nettie and Jaunty, is to figure out how in the Asylum they transported 5 Dark Souls to Liveside to implant them in the 5 serial killers. Because they must have a way of doing it. I mean, I guess Nettie must know of a way of doing that because she has some Govie in her church. So there are some Dark Souls in Liveside. But apparently you're not supposed to be able to do that. So Mike has a couple of missions now. 1 is to find out how they're doing that, and 2 is to take back whatever Dark Souls they've already taken. I think if we went over here, I'm pretty sure that we would just fall back to the beginning when we got it, when we first saw the first cells in here. The Asylum is a bit of a maze. It's more of a mazy kind of area than most of the other locations in Deadside. Can be easy to lose your way. Down here is an important room. Because there is an important item here.
This should be useful.
Yes, it should. I like how we get, like, this weird sound when we find an item in the Asylum. When we find one of the voodoo items, we get a different music track, but here it's just, like, this weird, discordant, like, audio. Anyway, we got the engineer's key. What is it? Well, it's a big gauntlet with a big spike on it that's on our hand, but it's not a weapon. You might think it is. It's not. Rather, it's a key. We can unlock doors in the Asylum with this. There's another one here. That unlocks that big door we saw before. The engineer's key is going to be something we'll be using repeatedly throughout the game. They got all kinds of gauges here. What are they measuring? And it's off the charts. The gauges can't even read all the pressure that's going through these pipes. The texture's on backwards. For a second, I thought it was measuring dogs, and that doesn't make sense. No, it's just it's backwards. It's not measuring dogs. No, I'm pressing the wrong keys. There we go. I pressed the right key this time. Oh. Also, while I haven't had to use this before, but I will frequently be using the weapon wheel to switch between that and that. The weapon wheel is a cool addition to the game. I mean, we could always just... No, not that. We could always go here, and the game stops, and we choose what weapons we want, but being able to do it without the game totally stopping is pretty neat. Oh, hello. We found a cable car. Well, more of a rail car. There's no cable. It's more like it's on a metal rail. We're going to take this tram to other locations in the asylum. But first, let's head over here. Just make sure that we cover all the areas that we can for the moment. I'm out of voodoo power. I'm pretty sure the baton does hurt as a melee weapon. Like, if you don't have any voodoo power. Yeah, see, it broke it. So it can be used as a melee weapon. Against the hookmen, it's not going to be very effective, because if you get close enough to use that as a melee weapon, they will just tear you up with hooks. That guy stood in the way when that other guy was about to be killed. There's a Dark Soul up there, but we're not on that floor, so nothing I can do about that for right now. What I can do is unlock the front door. We're on the other side of it. And the teleportation spot was right here. So if we warp back here, the front door is now open. I wonder who trains the staff of the asylum in operating the equipment. They love torture, but their job is to maintain this sensitive equipment. You think Jack had to put on classes or something? Is he at the front of the room being the teacher? Do the pigmen get a certificate when they're done certifying that they can operate this stuff? There's a little path down there. I think it just leads to Coles? Yeah, it does. Don't want to walk down there right now. Okay. The tram. Where the path of blood leads.
For complete crazies, these guys are totally organized, which definitely helps me some.
It is a higher level of technology than we have seen elsewhere in Deadside. But right now, we're looking at something new. In the original game, there was only one switch. Now there are two, because one of them leads to a new level, the Experimentation Rooms, and that's where we're headed. So, I believe I read that the developers of the remastered version looked up the notes and the information and whatever materials and assets remained from the game's development and recreated the cut levels. So, say the Experimentation Rooms they were supposed to be in the original game, but they were cut for whatever reason, and yeah, they've just been rebuilt for this engine. I should mention that this is not just a port of the game. This game was rebuilt in Night Dive's Kex engine. I believe this is what they used for Turok and Doom 64, I think. Let's get the key out. It opened that over there. So yeah, this is not a port. This is a complete rebuild. There's a big locked door in there and some big boxes. Probably would not want to drop down there. Well, maybe we could. Maybe we would land on a platform. But let's take the long way for right now. These gauges are not moving. Some panels have like a big red thing on it, but it's not a button. We can't press it. I think this just leads down to coals. It is getting dark. Yeah, coals. There are some areas of the asylum that are pretty dark. We will get a light source at some point. We just don't have it right now. Or we could use our gun for a light source. I mean, if we wanted to. You see that? Like that, if it's really dark, we could do that. Alright, this is what we unlocked. Let's just see what's on the other side here. Oh. Seems like it wasn't, that the baton was not shooting down at him. You might notice that the music in the asylum. Indeed. It's not usually not really music. It's more like very ambient sounds and unpleasantness. Usually how it is in the asylum levels. So this is a different looking door, and this wasn't in the original game. This coffin-shaped door with like a cross on top of it. You can't open it. At least not right now. And over there is a Dark Soul. Yeah, there. I got him with the baton as a melee weapon.
The power of the Dark Souls. I embrace it.
All right, we've gone up to level 3, which means our shadow gun can charge up to level 3, become a little bit more powerful. Also, more importantly, it means we can go back to those level 3 doors we saw before the asylum and continue to progress. But right now, we could keep looking around in the asylum to find what we can find. Here's another one of these strange doors. Also, here's a window looking out onto a very large room with a lot of railings over some green water. We can't get there right now. Anything in here? I mean, it's just like, just meat. Just a bunch of meat. You want to shoot some meat? Here you go. Some meat for you to shoot. Look, this is the experimentation rooms, which presumes that they're conducting some kind of experiments in here. Some kind of science. Some kind of evil science is what I would guess. There's a grate up there, which would indicate that there's a vent that passes by here. Even if there was, though, would we be able to get up there? Well, it doesn't seem like I can grab onto the top of this. Usually you can. You can grab onto the top of platforms like that, but not this time. And we definitely cannot grab onto that. Let me just look at this other one. Did that this one have one as well? Yeah, that one has one there. But there are no, once again, no platforms to get up there from. So this might be just about all we can explore in the experimentation rooms. We can't learn anything more about the evil science going on here. Maybe later. Well, I mean, we got one Dark Soul. There are 4 in this level. So, I mean, obviously, we'll be coming back at some point. There's a cadeau right there, which gives us the hint that maybe we should shimmy along that ledge. Otherwise, you might miss the ledge and not realize it might be time for some Shadow Man shimmy. Be careful of the steam, though. It does hurt and will knock you off. This one's locked. Well, we have not been down into this room.
Got it. Oh my God.
Even Mike is shocked to see what he finds in here. It's just like a whole bunch of bodies, whole bunch of limbs. A lot of ripping and tearing going on in here. Yeah, I feel like there's not much science happening here. I'm not sure what kind of experiment this would be. There's a column of meat right here with faces in it. We might as well shoot the meat. There we go. Meat's been shot. I would like to get some more voodoo power, because I am out. Getting a bunch of health, but don't actually need that right now. Well, that got unlocked up there. But before we head up there, let's keep looking around. Oh, here's the science. This is where the science is happening. This is a strange-looking torso, but maybe we might see something like this later. You can tell that the science is happening here, because look at these... these glass jars. And over here, we got beakers. Boiling beakers. You know science is happening. That might be a microscope? Here's a Govie. Oh, hello. Got some Resident Evil style capsules where things are developing. What things? Hard to say. But maybe the experimentation has to do with this Govie. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to open these things.
Dark souls are mine.
Oh, it's easy for Mike. All Mike has to do is shoot him with his gun because of his shadow powers. His powers to rip the soul out. But for the forces of evil, maybe they have to come up with some other way to try to open the Govie. Alright, so this is the locked door that we saw before. I think that fan pulls you in if you get close to it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's like a cadeau right there in front of the fan. Maybe we'll try to get that some other time. That one's locked up there, but here is a keyhole. Okay, that did not unlock this. It unlocked that one up there. Let me just remind myself what's down here. It might just lead to more coals. It does. You can tell that once we get the ability to march on coals, there's a lot more to this level that we will be exploring. Yep, that one's locked. Alright, so we can't go forward here anymore. This is where we came in, so let's head down here. Whoop, that fire does hurt quite a bit. I'm actually almost out of health due to that.
Great. Great.
Oh, and also in the first-person mode, in the original game, you could not see your gun. You can turn that off in this one, but yeah, you can see your weapons if you want.
Got it.
So far, it's only been a few Cadeaux, really, in this area. That's unlocked. Whether or not you want to get all the Cadeaux in the game is really up to you. Depends on if you want to be a completionist. But
There must be something around here.
maybe more Cadeaux. Who can say, Mike? Oh, we got a teleportation spot. Okay. So this is the warp point for the experimentation rooms. It's nowhere near the start of the level, is it? It's like way deep in here. That fan is casting a big shadow. Most of these doors are these weird coffin doors, but there's one that's not.
Got it.
There are a few places to go here. I do hear the sound of a Govy around. This one's locked. Okay, most of the doors are locked, which is good. You don't really want to be overwhelmed by a choice of where to go. Oh, we can swim down here. Hold on, which direction do we want to go first? Alright, let's try that. Nope, not that. Let's change the key. It's good to be able to find new areas, but sometimes you kind of want maybe not to be able to go everywhere all at once. Because you start thinking about, now, am I going to... Oh, okay, this. That's interesting. So we've been through here, but we just came from a new area, didn't we? Oh, because this is unlocked now. Okay. Yes, we came here, and then the other side of that was locked. That's correct. Alright, let's see what we can get when we swim. There's a Cadeau. Oh, this is a window, isn't it? Yeah. Before I go back, let me just see, were there any other paths I could take down here? Yeah, there is this up here. Up here. Okay, that's locked. Okay. Oh, hello. Completely walked by this door. Just looking up to see if there might be a window up here. Oh, maybe you can't jump. Maybe you can't grab the edges of those cages in general. Thought you could, but maybe not. All right, these other doors. You can hear the sound of a Dark Soul somewhere in a close-by room, but it's not something we can get to right now. Alright, I think that's everything we can do in this area. This is the warp point that we reached. And then there was that up there. We came through here, I think. Pretty sure we did. Yeah, there's no other door that we could have come through, right? Pretty sure. Alright, well, let's break this open. Now we've got some vertical movement going on. Now this is another panel, but it has a symbol on it we've not seen before. And that symbol was not in the original game. However, where is that door that we just unlocked? And that panel has that cross logo that we've been seeing. So we can probably assume that's going to open up all of those cross doors. And there's a few of them. Also, that's on backwards again. Is that just a thing in the Asylum? Backwards labels. Okay, we drop down here. Alright, we can just try out these cross doors then. This might... Is this the one that opened? Not sure what the door was that we opened with that other one. Okay, this is definitely where some evil science is happening. We cannot destroy that thing, though. There's a Cadeau in here. So we do see these corpses with horns and such in these experimentation rooms. But what is the experiment? We don't know. Would this experiment be considered a success or a failure?
Nettie said that only a Shadow Man or something more powerful could release a dark soul from a Govie. This is bad. Real bad.
All right, well, we found out what one of the experiments is anyway. It's a broken Govie, which isn't supposed to be able to happen. It's supposed to be that only Mike is able to open these things, but it looks like that the inhabitants of the Asylum have figured it out. As far as what we can do right now, well, there's nothing we can really do with that knowledge. We just know that that Dark Soul is no longer in its Govie. It's been moved somewhere else. We can't break that open. It looks like it's just coals behind that anywhere, so I wouldn't want to break it open. There is that one other cross door that we saw. The first one that we saw. So let's head back over there. Even though we got up to level, oh, missed that. Almost fell in the coals. Even though we got the Dark Soul to bring us to level 3 a little while ago at this point, there still has been a lot more exploration to do in the Experimentation Rooms. Yeah, here it is. Well, we can use this cage to get up through the hole in the ceiling. Doesn't seem like there's actually anything in the room. But we can get up to this next level from here. We can't break this one. Probably nothing behind it. Well, these are 2 slides, so we can't jump back up to that upper level. That slide will take us down even further. Oh. I guess we can't break this one? Or this one. Can we see what's down there? It doesn't seem like there's anything in that room. There's a prisoner in that room. There's a door. I'm surprised we can't open this because, well, we've seen that we can open these grates. Or grates that look like these, but I guess we can't do it to these. Let's slide on down. Hello. That opened that door. These gauges are still going wild. Here's some green water. The green water will not hurt us. And this is going pretty deep. Maybe before I go down here, we should see where that unlocked door goes. Because it's, you know, I'm going into a fairly big area here, it looks like. Where does this come out? Okay. It's these platforms. We've been here a couple of times. Alright, let's head on down. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but Shadow Man doesn't have to worry about drowning. He can stay underwater indefinitely. Mike, in live side, well, that's a different story. Mike can drown. Shadow Man can't. Okay, there's just a brick ceiling here. There's a gate right there. And this is closed. Not sure if we can actually do anything here now. Or do we need to find a switch that will open up the closed door? And if that's the case, then I think this would be a dead end for now. At least we've pulled a lot of switches and used that key on a lot of panels, so Maybe there's just another one in another place that we can use to open up that underwater door. Oh, wait, hold on. Can we?
Pretty rusted up. I wonder if it's still working.
Okay, yes. Mike, he says something. I forgot about that because there's nothing else in the game like this where you have like a wheel. Yeah, we can turn it. There we go. There really aren't any other switches that look like that. All right, this is open now. Experimentation Rooms is a pretty big level. Like, none of this was in the original game. Okay, now we can surface. But we cannot actually get onto these corridors because the like these little spiky gate that's right there, the little fence, too high. We can't pull ourselves over that. We have to find an area in the room that does not have that little fence on it. I think Mike could probably just grab that and pull himself up. But no, it's not how this works. And we do want to watch out for the rifleman. He can shoot us, and not much we can do about it in the water. Just going down to the floor just in case if there's any cadeau down here. Alright, that one's fenced. I think we have 2 opens. Yeah, both of these are open. First, let's surface. Look at the lighting effects. It's so remastered. Kind of hard to tell. Kind of hard to see where our goal is, which direction we should be going. But like I said, we're looking for a platform where there's like there'll be like a little like an area where there's no fence, and we can pull ourselves up from there. There's a fence surrounding all this. Pipes. We cannot swim up the pipes. Seems like you should be able to swim up those pipes. That's what I figured when I saw these. Probably swim up those pipes. No, I guess not. I guess you can't. Yeah, still a lot of fence around us. Doesn't seem like there's any cadeau or anything on the floor, or at least not so far. Let's see, are these both open? No, that's fenced off. Okay, it's kind of a relief when one of them's fenced off because, you know, I'd rather there only be one place to go than multiple. Looks like these guys are following me around now to shoot at me when I surface. There it is. Whoop. Let me just get some space here. Whoop, not in the water. That's not where I want. That's not the space I wanted. Like space, like getting up here.
Great.
Forgot I did not have the baton equipped.
Great.
Well, I mean, you recognize that the room we're in is the one that we were looking down on from the big window. I don't think we can interact with this control panel. Looks like we should be able to, because it looks prominent. Okay, there's one down there that doesn't have much water in it. You can see a Cadeau. Just look around to see if there's anything else we should be getting. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, we can't jump that. That is too high. Alright, must try dropping down here. There's a gate down here, but I guess maybe the idea is that it just fell off of this right here. Now it looks like we're on the outside edge of the asylum. This looks like, you know, uncarved stone. So this is a part of the asylum still under construction. Is that a tree? Have we seen trees in Deadside? Have we seen any kind of indication of plant life? Or is it a pipe? I don't know, it's like very angular, but it doesn't look like a pipe. It might be... I'm not sure if it's metal or not.
Not good.
Well, we get a dramatic introduction to whatever this door is, and a couple of flyers, but those flyers are so high up, I guess we don't have to worry about them. Find a statue. Kind of looks like a centaur, but the legs end in swords or spikes. Kind of looks like that. I think I mentioned at the beginning that there are a couple enemies, a couple bosses maybe, that are not in the game yet, supposed to be added with a patch. I think this might be where we're supposed to fight the Seraph Queen, but that has not been added yet, I don't think. Maybe after it gets added, maybe we'll come back here in the future and see what that's like.
Hey, now that could be useful.
Yes, it can. We found our first Retractor. As for what that is, well, we don't know yet, but we will be finding out. Blood indeed. Gotta respect someone who knows what they want, and this gentleman wants blood. I mean, shooting the meat doesn't give us anything, but what, are you gonna not shoot the meat? You gonna just let the meat stay there and not shoot it? Of course you're gonna shoot the meat. Hello. You know, even by Shadow Man levels, I might say that just the size of this level might be bigger than most in this game, I think. At least it feels like that to me. Okay, we've been here before. This door was locked. Okay, so we've now connected that. If you're wondering why I keep going in the first-person mode to shoot meat, it's because I don't auto-aim on the meat. Doesn't count as something to target. It's not targetable. So if you want to shoot the meat, you're going to go in first-person mode and aim manually to do that. Is this the end? Okay, now we can climb on this cage. We got a cadeau. And this might be the end of this corridor. I think. I don't see anywhere else to go. I don't see like a location to get up on or through. That might actually be it for the experimentation rooms for now. Might actually be it. We might have exhausted this. Okay, so this whole big path we were on. Remember, we got that Dark Soul and reached level 3 pretty early. And this whole big path we've been on ever since, ultimately it was to find that Retractor. Is it worth it to get that Retractor? Oh yeah. We need that Retractor. That's what we'll be needing next when we go to the Cathedral of Pain, which, as you might guess, that sounds like a very friendly place. But for right now, I think we've done as much of the experimentation rooms as we can. And we only found 2 Dark Souls. There are still 2 more to go in here. Alright, for right now, why don't we head back to our allies and see if they have anything new to say. What does Nettie think about our Asylum adventures?
Followed the Dark Soul's trail into the Asylum, but where the hell are the 5?
They're in this world, Shadow Man. 5 mortal men touched by the power of the Dark Souls. Unlike you, they don't have the Mask of Shadows controlling and channeling the dark power. It twists their minds, fills their already tainted hearts with even greater perversions, and a hatred so terrible it has sent them insane.
Okay, so they're in this world, but where exactly?
That's your job, Shadow Man. You gotta go back to the Asylum and find a way through. The same way the Dark Souls found their way into the 5. Hunt the mothers down, Shadow Man, and kick their sorry asses. But remember, they possess an immortal power, and only by taking their souls will you truly defeat them.
Okay, so Nettie is telling us that just like Mike, the 5 serial killers are also immortal because of their Dark Souls. We have to use our ability to rip souls out of bodies in order to defeat them. Let's talk to Jaunty.
Come on, Slowpoke.
What can I do for you, Michael?
I have entered the Asylum, a truly terrible place. Far more dreadful than even the most twisted mind could have imagined.
I suspected as much.
Nettie has informed me that I must find a way to reach the 5 from within the Asylum. It would seem that the serial killers Thomas Deacon profiled for us are indeed preparing for the crossing over of the Dark Soul armies. I know that you and I may pass freely between the worlds of Deadside and Liveside, but what of the 5? How is it that they have been able to journey across the veil from the Asylum to their Liveside lairs?
Well, there was that little incident with Tommy Lee's undead gang a while back. Seemed like an aberration at the time, but thinking about it, could have been a trial run. You know, this may sound crazy, but I think you should be looking for a corpse. Or 5 of them.
5 corpses?
The way I see it, you trap 2 souls and keep them in a state of flux between the worlds. One in Deadside, the other Liveside. Neither can cross over from one plane of existence to the next, nor pass beyond. Ergo, a schism, or bridge is formed between the worlds. So, yes, you're looking for 5 ritually slaughtered corpses somewhere in the Asylum.
Jaunty, there are a great many corpses in the Asylum.
Granted, but these will be special in some way, in a special place. Of course, if you do manage to find your way across to these psycho loonies, you better have your shadow powers at the ready. I got a feeling you're gonna need them.
Alright, so Jaunty actually does have some insight for us that maybe what we're looking for are 5 special ritually slaughtered corpses. Not like the regular corpses we've been seeing, but corpses that are special in some way. And we'll be finding those special corpses as next time we're heading back to the Asylum. Actually, we have 2 options, don't we? We reached level 3, which means we could open those level 3 doors and make forward progress through Deadside. Or we could go to the Cathedral of Pain in the Asylum, because you remember that we were on that rail car and there were 2 switches, and I pressed the left switch, which took us to the Experimentation Rooms. If I had hit the right switch, we would have gone to the Cathedral of Pain. So there still is a bit more of the Asylum that we can explore. So before we open those level 3 doors, we will go back to the Asylum, we'll go to the Cathedral of Pain, and see if we can find some ritually slaughtered corpses. It'll be a fun time with Shadow Man.